I gotta say, Pluto's kicking ass this year with Christmas movies. They've got a couple classics, they've got a couple really good ones, I wouldn't call them classics, and then they have some obscure ones. So we're gonna review all those, take a look at them, a couple I've seen in the past. So in this review, we'll unwrap some of the best Christmas films available on Pluto. No subscription needed, of course. From timeless favorites to underrated surprises, there's something for everyone. So grab your favorite blanket, get the popcorn ready, and let's explore the holiday magic waiting for you on Pluto. You know the candy cane drill. Here are the 5 movies that are going to be covered in this video. Links to the films below in the description. Make sure to put your thoughts in the comments and let us embark onto the Christmas greatness that is Pluto 2024. Are there still people that have never heard of this movie? Scrooged is a 1988 American Christmas fantasy comedy film directed by the great and late Richard Donner. Based on the 1843 novella A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, Scrooged is a modern retelling that follows Bill Murray as Frank Cross, a cynical and selfish television executive who is visited by a succession of ghosts on Christmas Eve, intent on helping him regain his Christmas spirit. The film has a great cast and stars Karen Allen, John Forsythe, John Glover, Bobcat Goldthwait, Carol Kane, Robert Mitchum, Michael J. Pollard, and Alfred Winward. Great director, awesome cast, so far, so good. Scrooge was filmed on a $32 million budget over 3 months in New York City and Hollywood from December of 1987 to March of 1988. Murray returned to acting for the film after taking a 4-year hiatus following the success of Ghostbusters, which he found overwhelming, although he had a minor role in Little Shop of Horrors. The production was tumultuous, as Murray and Donner had different visions for the film. Murray described his time on the film as misery, while Donner called Murray suburb-like, creative, but occasionally difficult. Along with Murray's 3 brothers, Brian, John, and Joel, Scrooge features numerous celebrity cameos. Scrooge was released on November 23rd of 1988 and grossed over $100 million worldwide. The film received a positive response from test audiences, but was met with a mixed response upon its release from critics who found the film either too mean-spirited or too sentimental. Now make up your mind. Since its release, Scrooge has become a regular television Christmas time feature, with some critics calling it an alternative to traditional Christmas films, and others arguing that Scrooge was ahead of its time, making it relevant in modern day. It has appeared on various lists of the best Christmas films, and it should, because it's a great film. I've seen this one in the theater, girls and guys, when I was a wee bit of a boy. Well, not that wee, I was 18. Scrooge holds up beautifully after all these years with very minimal dated special effects. And I grew up with Bill Murray from his Johnny Storm radio drama, you know, the Fantastic Four, Saturday Night Live, of course, the movie Meatballs, Ghostbusters, Stripes, and of course Scrooged. And I do believe Groundhog's Day came after that. This guy was on fire. Bill Murray was on fire in the 80s, baby. Scrooge is your extremely cynical version of the character. Well, he's not even playing the same character. He's not even playing Scrooge, which fits Murray's humor perfectly. He's such an asshole in this movie, and he still comes out likable. But you also know it's Bill Murray, and you see him in other things, so you cut his character some slack because you know he'll come around in the end, and you know Bill Murray, he's just a wise ass. If you have never seen Scrooged, I highly recommend it for this holiday season. If you've already seen Scrooged, well, watch it again. All right, let's talk another classic that's streaming free on Pluto. We're talking Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's a 1987 American road trip comedy film written and produced by the great John Hughes and starring Steve Martin and John Candy, with supporting roles by Layla Robbins and Michael McKean. It tells the story of Neil, an uptight marketing executive, and Dell, a well-meaning but annoying salesman, who become travel companions when their flight is diverted and embark on a 3-day odyssey of misadventures trying to reach Chicago in time for Neil's Thanksgiving Day dinner with his family. The film was released on November 25th of 1987 to critical acclaim, with many praising it for Hughes branching out from teen comedies and for Candy and Martin's performances. It was also a box office success, earning $49.5 million on a $15 million budget. Watching the film has since become a Thanksgiving Day tradition for many. Now, I grew up with John Hughes, who did, as mentioned, mostly teen comedies during the 1980s, and with his most famous being The Breakfast Club. Hughes had a very unique voice. He could write at teenagers well as a grown man. Not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can write teenagers as older people. They just come out lame. And he gave them depth while also making them funny and making funny films. There weren't a lot of teen-focused comedies around that time worth a damn until Hughes came along. And then he also wrote and or directed many movies like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And I would call it a holiday classic, right along with Scrooge, mentioned our first movie that was mentioned. John Candy plays clueless, annoying like no other human being can. If you've ever seen any other John Candy movie, he plays the same character. He plays clueless and annoying. He made a career of it, and he does it great. And Steve Martin, in this movie at least, Steve Martin reminds me of me, specifically in this film, because everything that could go wrong goes wrong, and I can relate to Steve Martin's everyman character who just can't seem to cut a break. It seems that way to me. I don't know if it really is in real life, but it always seems like everything that possibly could go wrong goes wrong. Maybe everyone feels that way, I don't know. So would you rather be clueless in life, like John Candy's character, or would you be Steve Martin, who sees everything as a disaster? And there has to be a middle ground there. Perhaps that's some of the point of the movie. I'm not a movie critic. I don't analyze films. I do give my opinion, but just do opinion videos. I don't think I'm a movie critic. A critic would analyze what I just said, and I'm not that bright. This is a great movie. Of course, I recommend it. It's free to stream, like I said, all month on Pluto, so I would check it out for your holiday pleasures. Daddy's Home 2, titled on screen as Daddy's Home 2. Did I just read that right? Daddy's Home, the number 2, titled on screen as Daddy's Home, spelled out 2. Whatever. Is a 2017 American Christmas buddy comedy film directed by Sean Anders and written by Anders and John Morris. A sequel to Daddy's Home, which another movie that I enjoyed.
You tell me, who is your daddy and what does he do?
It stars Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, Linda Cardellini, John Cena with John Lithgow, and Mel Gibson. And the plot follows now reformed fathers, Brad and Dusty, now co-parenting Dusty's kids, who have to deal with their own fathers, Lithgow and Gibson, visiting for the holidays. Principal photography on the film began in Massachusetts in March of 2017, and it was released in the United States by Paramount Pictures on November 10th of 2017. Although the film received generally negative reviews from critics, it grossed over $180 million worldwide against a production budget of $69 to $70 million. On Rotten Tomatoes, Daddy's Home 2 holds an approval rating of 21% based on 129 reviews and an average rating of 4.1.10. 4.1 out of 10. The website's critical consensus reads, a formulaic comedy, which I agree. That's unlikely to spread much Yuletide merriment. I disagree. Daddy's 2 can only muster a few stray yuccas from a talented cast. I thought it was enjoyable and humorous. There's no muckas or yuccas. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 30 out of 100 based on 26 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. Audience polled by Cinescore gave the film an average grade of A- on an A+ to F scale, and I agree with that. Fuck critics. I can't stand critics. They're just snobby dicks. That's why I don't consider myself a critic. I just give my opinion. I like this movie. I like both Daddy's Home. They're not freaking Shakespeare. They're just stupid comedies, just goofy comedies that are just... That's what movies are supposed to be. They're supposed to be fantasy. They're supposed to be release from your everyday stresses. If I want reality, I'll go to work. This is just a goofy comedy that hits most of the time. It's humorous. It's not gut-laughing funny, but it's humorous, and that's why I like both these movies. This is the first movie I recognized John Cena as a good actor and someone who has kept popping up since then. I didn't even know who a John Cena was until this movie.
Dude, I didn't mean to put your father in prison.
Then why'd you put him there, you fat fuck?
Because I couldn't think of anybody else.
What about Ariana Grande or Drake?
What?
Brad Pitt or Payne Stewart or Doug the Pug? Khloe Kardashian, the Red Tiger from Voltron, Fran Tarkenton, Joe Montana, Joe Montana, Eddie Murphy, Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, BTS, Eugene Levy?
Fuck, dude.
John Lovitz? Shut the fuck up and listen, man. I'm giving you a list of people you could have done. Danny DeVito, Will Ferrell, Howard Stern, Baba Booey, Robin Ophelia, Quivers, Alice Cooper, Ozzy Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne, Bill Cosby. He just got out. He's got time on his hands. Amy Winehouse.
Dude, Amy Winehouse is fucking dead.
Optimus Prime, Shipwreck, Cobra Commander, the fucking cunts from Riverdale.
All right, next time I fucking have to frame somebody, it'll be one of all those fucking thousands of people you just mentioned.
Yeah, tell that to my dad.
Peacemaker, shut the fuck up!
Do you all want to be here till tomorrow?
And I'm against the grain to the critics on this one, which I usually am. I like this movie a lot. I like both Daddy's Home. They're just stupid, silly comedies that give me joy. God forbid. And it's good to see Mel Gibson come into a mainstream movie. You know, I think he got a bad rap. You know, he got drunk and said stupid shit. You know, Hollywood protects the Weinsteins and the Singers and the Spaceys and the Epsteins of the world. They've been covering that shit up for years until they couldn't anymore. And people are hypocrites. Everyone's an absolute hypocrite. Whenever a star says something stupid or does something stupid, they're so quick to attack. But what's in your life? What have you done stupid in your life that you regret? I mean, they're human beings. So I think most people the court of public opinion is ridiculous because most people have done really stupid shit and then they criticize other people for doing stupid shit. You're a hypocrite then. And I honestly think because Mel Gibson is a conservative and we're talking about liberal Hollywood, that's why he got blacklisted. He said stupid shit, so he got drunk, he said the N-word. You know, I've gotten drunk in the past and said plenty of stupid things. And how dare him, his wife or whatever, record him. It's his private shit. We don't need to hear that out in public. We don't need to know your business. Keep your business inside. I don't care about stars' personal lives. I don't care about their politics. I don't care about their opinions. I want them to get up there and dance for me, monkey. Entertain me. I don't care about your personal shit. So why everyone else gives a shit, I'm not really sure. So this is my opportunity to sound off on this topic, just to the fact that I think Mel Gibson got a really, really bad rap just because he's conservative. And the Weinsteins and the Singers and the Spaceys of Hollywood get a pass until they no longer can. Mel Gibson didn't touch anybody. Mel Gibson didn't try to grope anybody. He said anti-Semitic and he said the N-word and he was drunk. So fucking what? The guy has an opinion. Is it a real opinion? I've been drunk and said stuff that I don't mean. Who the hell knows? But he didn't go and touch anyone, grope anyone, try to rape anybody. So why these other assholes get such a pass and he gets such a hard deal, it boggles my mind. And I understand the Weinsteins of the world got called out, but they've been doing it for years and years. It's just been pretty recently that all this shit's been exploding and being called out and being exposed. People kept that shit buried for years, knowing what was going on. So fuck you, Hollywood. You're hypocrites and you're scummy and you're icky sometimes. And I like Daddy's Home, and I like Daddy's Home 2. It's got a Christmas theme, and it's just a fun movie. So I recommend it for this holiday. It's just a fun movie, so I recognize... It's just a fun movie, so I recommend it for this Hollywood. It's just a fun movie, so I recommend it for this holiday season. So I'm just going to gloss over this next film. There's really not much to say about it. Prancer is a 1989 Christmas fantasy drama film directed by John Hancock, written by Greg Taylor, and it stars Rebecca Harrell, Sam Elliott, Cloris Leachman, and Abe Vigoda. It is set in Three Oaks, Michigan, where the town exteriors were filmed. Filming also occurred at Old Republic House in New Carlisle, Indiana, LaPorte, Indiana, and Starved Rock State Park in Utica, Illinois. The film was followed by a direct-to-video sequel called Prancer Returns. I never even heard of that. Released by USA Home Entertainment in 2001. In 2022, Universal Pictures Home Entertainment released a remake called Prancer: A Christmas Tale. I didn't know that either. The reindeer used for the film was a pregnant reindeer named Boo. Pregnant reindeer keep their antlers for longer, and she was needed so she wouldn't shed hers before filming was over in late winter, and she was selected for her rapport with Rebecca Harrell, the little girl. She was at the premiere of the film on November 17th of 1989. Wow, a reindeer gets to go to the red carpet, and I never have. The film received mixed to positive reviews from critics, and it holds a 67 rating on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes based on 24 reviews, and I think I can agree with that, with an average rating of 6.1 out of 10. The critical consensus reads, Prancer's good-natured holiday cheer and a terrific performance from its young star are enough to make this Yuletide adventure a moderately rewarding watch, and I agree with all that. This is a family film in the purest sense about a little girl and a reindeer. It's great holiday fare. I think kids will get more out of it than adults, but I suppose we all have that little kid inside us, so who's to say? It's a good Christmas watch, and that's why I recommend it for this season. Santa Fake is a 2019 American Christmas film written and directed by J.M. Burris and starring Damian McGinnity, Heather Morris, John Rhys Davies, Judd Nelson, Jeff Fahey, and Tony Amendola. I always screw up names. The film was shot in New Mexico in December 2017, and what a strange mix of characters here. Judd Nelson, Jeff Fahey, and John Rhys Davies were named as starring in the film, and producer Delaney Marsh noted that the planned 12-day film schedule would be its biggest challenge, that big 12 days. Actor Damian McGinnity described the movie as a very lovely, heartwarming, family-friendly Christmas film, if he does say so himself. No, it was a good movie. It was exactly what he said. This movie was the only crapshoot of any of them for Pluto this time out. It ended up we have 5 good films in various degrees of quality. Santa Fake is a light movie with little baggage. There's no big plot or characterizations here. It's a simple holiday film that comes with heart and laughs, just like Damien said. He didn't lie. McGinnity did not lie. I liked it a lot. It's great going into a movie that you have no expectations about, or even better if those expectations are very, very low, which they were in this case. The plot was pretty simple. A dumb kid accidentally takes a mobster's money, and in order to save his ass, he masquerades as the mall Santa Claus. Never seen John Rhys Davies play a villain before, beyond when he played the Kingpin in the old Incredible Hulk made-for-television movie, and you've got to be 100 years old to remember that, like myself. Usually he plays like this kindly professor-like character, either that or a dwarf. Judd Nelson and Jeff Fahey were an interesting duo, and what I appreciated most about the duo is they weren't bumbling idiots like your typical stupid comedy would do. They actually played competent villains. They were a competent duo and competent villains. Nelson and Fahey are both great, fantastic actors, so it made it a joy to watch them play off each other. This movie was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. For a very low-budget movie, I was very surprised at the quality of actors they were able to get in it. I highly recommend you add it to your Christmas watching list. So with Pluto, they have a few things going on here. During this season, they have this season's greetings thing, so you just hit on that, and then they have different tabs or rows, I should say, of different stuff. Hallmark movies, if you're into Hallmark movies, oh my God. And then they have a bunch of live programming. So here's a bunch of live Christmas programming. And places and spaces. That would seem great. So the Great Christmas Light Fight. They've got the Crackling Fireplace. So if you just want some ambiance for your Christmas viewing, or it's just some background music, that's cool too. So that's it, gals and guys. Pluto was a lot better than Plex. And sorry about my rant about Mel Gibson. I'm interested in what you think about that. And that's it for this time out. I'm not sure what's next. There's like YouTube, there's Peacock, there's some other ones. There's Roku. We'll see what we find out. We see what good stuff we find next. All right, girls and guys. All right, girls and guys. If you could please subscribe, like, share, bell for updates, and I will catch you very, very soon. Couple days. See you.